this fight has proven to be as close as I expected it to be. You got one guy who's been on a long layoff and then coming back. He's got to spar with his coach. I asked, you know, do you think you got the best sparring you can get prior to a fight? Right now, can't really tell. Can't tell if he's, you know, got his feet back wet, being back in the ring, if he's able to get the speed and strength that he likes to have in a fight. And then you got Duversonne here, who's just been in the ring not long ago and is ready to take on another big challenge in Chordale Booker.
Well, the one item that Chordale Booker is focusing on is the body, a 33% or 33 body punches that have landed compared to just 3 for Duversonne. So it is evident that Chordale Booker wants to systematically break down the 30-year-old out of Avon Park, Florida.
I mean, it's what's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? With a taller guy, you're supposed to go to the body and break that guy down, bring him down to your level. What Duversonne can't allow to happen, because he's not going to go to the body, is he can't allow Chordale Booker to just step in there and bang to the body the way that he has.
Is Duversonne waiting too long to try to connect that big right hand that he was able to land and blast Lorenzo Simpson with in his previous fight?
Well, you know what? He came out in the first couple of rounds throwing that right hand and actually landing it as well. It's more of a looping right hand, but he's gone away from the right hand, the looping right hand, and he's gone more to just jabs and trying to catch Chordale. I said keep throwing those double jabs, but add that right hand in there.
Under a minute to go here in the 4th round. Chordale Booker looking to remain undefeated. He is 15-0 with 7 knockouts against Sonny Duversonne, who's 11-1-2. Actually started his career with 2 straight draws, which is a bit of a rarity, Sean.
Yeah, it is. It is a rarity. But what I'm stuck on right now is Chordale Booker's bleeding a little bit. And call me crazy, but that's not a bad thing for a guy who's been out of the ring this long. Sometimes you need a little bit of blood, a little bit of heat and sweat to get you back where you like to be.
Final moments of the 4th. Body work by Booker, but back comes Sonny Duversonne, who may have hurt Chordale Booker. And for those of you watching on FS2, make sure to turn over to FS1 after this commercial break, where we will show you the rest of tonight's fight card. Turn over to FS1 for more fight action.
Stools. Chordale looked like he might be struggling a little bit. He looked a little tired. Looked like he was breathing a little harder than I would expect him to breathe just through 4 rounds. On top of that, Duversonne standing up seconds before the bell rang, and Chordale was just getting up as it rang.
Well, Duversonne was last in the ring less than a month ago, 26 days to be exact. He fought in Las Vegas against the unbeaten prospect in Lorenzo Simpson, and he said that experience gave him, it was a learning experience for him, because he learned what it was to be fighting on TV and dealing with the lights, and the emotions got the better of him. A nice right uppercut on the inside by Duversonne.
Duversonne's got to continue to mix it up. Start with the jab as he's been doing this round, but throw some other punches. Throw the uppercut. There you go. Throw the right hands, the hooks. Things right now that there's some things that aren't clicking for Chordale, and Duversonne's got to take advantage of it.
Chordale Booker looking to make a statement tonight. When we asked him if he could get his wish if he's successful this evening, he said, I want Jermell Charlo. We asked him why. He said, because he's the man of the division. If you don't want to be the man of the division, get out of the sport.
Yeah, I said, he's the mark, and I understand what that feels like. I understand what that is. And right now, I think he's just got to work his way back into the sport, into the competitive side of it, especially with such a long layoff.
Seeing, I believe, some blood on the nostril, out of the left nostril and out of the mouth of Chordale Booker, largely in part to those big right hands from Sonny Duversonne.
Chordale's got to change it up. You're standing straight up and you're walking in, covering up when Duversonne punches, and then going to the body. Body's the most important thing right now. However, it's got to be more defense than he's given us.
There's a cut, I believe, above the right eyebrow of Chordale Booker from our broadcast position. We are socially distanced, so we will take a look at that in between rounds, as we are under a minute to go here in the 5th round.
And Chordale is slowing down himself. I think what I saw in between rounds is proven to be so. He's slowing down a little bit. Duversonne, he has to take advantage right now and not just stand there and wait. on Chordale to punch.
Moments ago, Duversonne sort of nodded his head as to say, hey, look, I know I am starting to get the better of these exchanges. And a big right hook, though, that connected by Chordale Booker. He caught Duversonne coming forward.
I think unintentionally he gave Duversonne some confidence. As soon as Duversonne went to let go, he let go of a great right hook. Chordale landed it.
And Duversonne took that well. He's got a beard on him, and the right nostril is bleeding for Chordale Booker. Sonny Duversonne, the 30-year-old out of Avon Park, Florida, starting to get into a rhythm against the undefeated Chordale 7 with the Eagles. Well, this is not a Hotel California. This is a battle between these two combatants. Chordale Booker looking to remain undefeated, but it has not been easy so far, Sean.
Chordale's got to figure something out. Standing there in the line of Duversonne's offense is not what he needs to do, but he's got to dig in. He's got 3 rounds left, essentially. He's got to dig in, starting now.
Duversonne had his best round in the 5th, landing a personal fight high 14 punches, so Duversonne's confidence is starting to grow.
Yeah, there's been a lot of close rounds, and with close rounds against a guy like Chordale Booker, Duversonne is going to look to capitalize and take him out.
What does Booker have to do to swing the momentum back in his favor?
You know what? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think I'd even like to see him use his jab at this point and just mix it up, continue to go head and body, change the levels up.
Well, Sean, you know what it's like as you are trying to become a contender. You have to beat fighters like this in which they are in front of you as you're undefeated.
Absolutely, and I think the number one thing that we're seeing right now, something that Chordale Booker is lacking, is his conditioning. He does not have the conditioning to keep up the kind of pace that he needs.
Well, for Chordale Booker, he has been 10 rounds one time over the course of his career. Duversonne has been 8 just one time in his previous fight against Lorenzo Simpson. Jordan Plant is ringside, and she has more of a bird's-eye perspective. Jordan.
Yeah, guys, I heard you guys say, we don't really know what Booker can do to take back this fight, but honestly, I was sitting in his corner, and I think what he's missing is feigning this guy. Duversonne doesn't have as much experience, so I think if he could freeze him and react off of that, work off the feints, I think it might work for him. What do you think? What do you think, Sean?
I agree 100%. What do you do to stop a guy from being aggressive? If you don't have the conditioning to punch, use feints. Feints will keep a guy off balance and not allow him to just be comfortable and have his weight walking in.
About 45 seconds ago, there's a big right hand that sprayed Booker. Duversonne with a big right uppercut. Booker is in some trouble as Duversonne walking him down, teeing off upon the 29-year-old.
This has been a big round for Duversonne. A couple of rights and now some uppercuts. He's mixing it up. Chordale's not only hurt, he's very tired. It's not working for him right now.
Booker is trying to fight fire with fire. Who knows if that could be a detriment or a benefit? Moments ago, when Jordan was giving her report, Sonny Duversonne unloaded 2 big right hands that stopped Booker in his tracks and momentarily buckled him. So, my goodness, the heavy hands of Sonny Duversonne starting to take hold of this fight and be problematic for Chordale Booker.
And it's cliche to me, but a lot of times the taller, longer fighter has the advantage in the ring. And right now, Duversonne has that advantage with both hands.
Sonny Duversonne showcasing that big right hand as the 6th round draws to a close. Let's take a look at it, Sean.
This is a great round for Duversonne. And again, he mixed it up, uppercuts and right hands. He's chasing them down, and he's doing the right things. He's mixing it up, and he's pushing Chordale Booker back. Chordale does not have the kind of stamina right now that he needs, the conditioning that he needs to withstand not only the offense, but the defensive attack as well.
Duversonne outlanded Booker for the first time in the 6th, 16 punches compared to 15 for Booker.
You gotta kill him. You gotta stay in the jab, yo. Don't make this harder than what it is. You get what I'm saying? Stay focused. Stay focused.
Boy, this easy work. You gotta just give him that 1-2. Look at one more time.
Yeah, give him that 1-2. Speaking good, baby. I'm proud of you. That's what I'm talking about.
Listening
Breathe, baby, breathe. Breathe. With the dog, son. You got me.
Sean, what is your interpretation of what they told Chordale Booker about using the jab and getting back to fundamentals?
He said two things. He said use the jab, the 1-2, and don't make it harder than it has to be. He's past that point in the fight. I think if those are things he should have done sooner, and he would have made the fight a lot easier at this point than it has become.
Round 7, this one's scheduled for 8. Sonny Duversonne looking to take that goose egg on the record of Chordale Booker, who's undefeated.
Hey, listen, his coach said, we a dog, just breathe and make it work. And that's what he's coming out and he's doing. He's being a dog right now.
What is impressive to me about Duversonne is his punch selection. That right hand has been landing, but also another weapon has been the sharp right uppercut at close distance.
It's a hard punch to defend, but it's also a hard punch to throw because you got to throw it at the right time and you got to throw it in the right spot. And Duversonne is finding the right spot with that right uppercut.
Also, another key, Sean, how important has been the timing, because I feel like Duversonne has better timing compared to that of Chordale Booker.
Yeah, I agree. That was something coming into this fight I didn't expect. Obviously, I think the layoff is what's really proven to be a problem for Chordale Booker. I expected him to be faster and quicker to the punch than he has been in this fight.
And one of the keys that you had for Sonny Duversonne is for him to stay busy, and I think he's picking up his punch output.
He's picking up the punch output, but he's also using the jab, which, if I may say, was another key of mine. He's using the jab. Hey, it's the most basic punch in boxing, but at the end of the day, if you go back to the basics, those will work out for you. And right now, he's using the jab, and it's working.
We are coming up on 75 seconds to go in the 7th round. Chordale Booker looking to keep his record perfect. Meantime, Sonny Duversonne has his sights set on spoiling those plans. A big right hand, and now Duversonne looking to tee off on the inside. A sharp right uppercut followed by a wicked left hand and a big right cross. Booker might be hurt. Mike Corona watching the action.
He's hurt.
Booker trying to hold on, and it is now target practice. A straight left that sprayed Booker. Duversonne looking to finish off Chordale Booker here in Los Angeles.
You need experience. Experience tells you, take a step back, don't rush in, use the range and the distance. That's what's working for you. Duversonne's got to get some space. And
a sharp right uppercut. Now Duversonne driving Booker against the ropes, continues to unload the heavy artillery.
This is a big round for Duversonne and a problem for Chordale Booker.
Sonny Duversonne in seek and destroy mode. Chordale Booker on sheer guts and adrenaline, trying to remain upright. A big right hand that clocked Booker.
You see that? Don't just walk in. Walk in behind your punches.
The mouthpiece is out for Duversonne, and Ray Corona, the 20-year referee, will pick it up.
Right here, time.
Wow, that's the worst thing that could have happened for Duversonne.
Let's go. Be quick.
The momentum was squarely in his favor.
No.
Booker with his nose bleeding.
Let's go, 10 there.
He is in a battle against Sonny Duversonne. Final moments of the 7th. And that ends the 7th round. Another big round for the 30-year-old out of Avon Park, Florida. Sonny Duversonne showcasing his big power here. Sean, look at this just all-out assault.
Yeah, he's doing all the right things. He's finding the openings. That's what you have to do. Professionals, we find the openings. It's not always going to be the straight punch. Sometimes it's going to be the looping punch. Looping right hands, uppercuts. Those are the things that are going to work right now, especially with a guy who really doesn't know where to go for defense. Even right there, Chordale tries to grab him and clinch him. Duversonne saying, I'm not having it. He breaks free, but the lack of experience is not allowing him to create the space that he needs to get off his offense and could have possibly stopped Chordale right there in that round.
Well, look at the conditioning aspect. Duversonne was standing up. Booker was on the stool for most of the break in between the 7th and the 8th. Duversonne out through Booker 134 to 81 over the last 2 rounds. He is certainly picking up his work rate. Eighth and final round between these two super welterweights who are trying to make a statement and elevate their standing to become fringe contenders. But back comes Chordale Booker. Do you think that Booker has cleared the cobwebs?
Well, you know what he said? I'm not overlooking Duversonne, but I want bigger names than this. Right now, he's got to bite down and show us that that's what he wants, because it's very much so in jeopardy.
Sean, when it comes to the numbers, as you see that Booker has 10 punches landed more than Duversonne, but does that make an impact in the eyes of the judges?
You know what? I don't think it does. I think the judges really see what impact the punches have and what result the guys are getting from the punches. Right now, Duversonne has landed the harder punches throughout the fight, and he's landed the most punches, in my opinion, that will have a profound effect for the judges.
It has been an eventful fight between these two. Booker started off the first few rounds looking well, boxing well, and then Duversonne starting to pick up his work rate and started landing the more authoritative blows.
Booker's got to finish this round. He's got to finish this round big if he's looking to score at least a draw. I don't think that he's going to win this fight.
Do you think he needs a knockdown?
I do. I think he needs at least a knockdown. Sometimes the judges see some things that we don't see, but I feel like just aggression is not enough to win this round and win the fight.
Just over the halfway mark of the eighth, a right uppercut that backed up Booker momentarily, and Booker has been unable to get out of the way of that big right uppercut from Sonny Duversonne.
I got a feeling Sonny's going to finish this round very, very strong.
Duversonne appears to be the bigger man. He just pushed Booker off of him, and typically Booker is the one who's able to impose his will physically upon his opponents.
Big right hand right there from Duversonne that missed, but you can see that he's got a lot left in the tank.
Duversonne looking to drive Booker to the perimeter of the ring, and now he goes to work on the body.
Yep. He's going to pour it on. It's about to come. We got about 45 seconds left in the fight. Duversonne's going to turn it on, and he's going to pour it out.
Don't you love weeknight boxing? This is what you get on the weeknight.
This has been a good fight. It's better than I actually expected it to be.
Well, I think that if I'm just guessing, I'm sure that this decision will be a little bit more clear-cut than the presidential election, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah, we can't talk about that right now. Let's stick with boxing and that big uppercut that Duversonne just landed.
As we go ahead and near the end of this eighth and final round.
Yeah, and as you get to the scorecards, if you're Duversonne, don't do that. Don't let off. Don't take an entire round off and leave the fight in the judges' hands and leave us wondering if you actually won the fight.
And that ends the fight. We'll come back and get the official decision between Chordale Booker and Sonny Duversonne.